It's done. It's over. We've had the Raw after Mania, so WrestleMania is over. Kind of, we still got SmackDown, but most people focus on the Raw after the showcase of shows. The question is this: was it good? Was it bad? Did we have any surprises? Should we be cheering or should we be sad? My name is Simon Miller. This is Ups and Downs, and indeed we're focusing on the Raw after WrestleMania. Wait for it. Let's ups and downs. So this episode of Monday Night Raw did indeed start with Stephanie McMahon and Ronda Rousey. Isn't it fantastic? We're basically reliving Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Vincent Kennedy McMahon. Getting up. It's pretty straightforward, to be honest. Stephanie McMahon did come out and she wound up the crowd and pretended that she deserved all the accolades for the match that had happened 24 hours previously. She welcomed Ronda Rousey out to the ring, said they were friends now. Ronda didn't agree with that. She beat her up, she put her in the armbar again and made her arm even worse, because that's what would happen if you've got an injured arm and then someone puts you in a move called the armbar. This was good, and obviously the crowd was going nuts, so they made it feel like the biggest deal ever. Here's my only worry. Do we really want to see an elongated feud between Stephanie McMahon and Ronda Rousey? I kind of think that all culminated at WrestleMania. I think maybe we could do something a bit different here. I'm not 100% sure it will work in the long term. However, so far so good. And isn't it nice for Steph to finally get her comeuppance? You know, she doesn't get away with this. She got her ass handed to her. I like that. Also, huge props to whoever fed JoJo the line to tell the crowd to try and respect Stephanie McMahon as she was being helped to the back by medical professionals. I got booed out the building. I liked it. A down for that inane commentary that came after this though, where the commentators did indeed tell us, oh, it's the Raw after Mania. Crowd is so crazy, you're going to do things you don't expect. Just let it happen. Just let it happen. Don't patronise me. The Superstar Shake-Up was confirmed for next week's Raw and SmackDown as well, and it's not getting up and it's not getting it down because I've got to see what's going to happen. Like, if we're going to shuffle around the tag team divisions and the women's division, that actually makes sense. But I kind of like where all the men are at the moment, so we'll wait and see. But yeah, next week, happening. A tag match between Alexa Bliss and Mickie James going against Nia Jax and a called-up Ember Moon came after this. Pretty cool, right? Ember Moon on Raw, getting up. It basically was about so that Ember could show off her skills, and she eventually hit the Eclipse on Bliss for the 1, 2, 3, and I guess we just segue off into different feuds now. I get Bliss versus Jax for the women's title, and we can do Mickie James versus Ember Moon. And there was also some promo time before this where Alexa Bliss just ran down Nia Jax. It was fine, did what it had to do, whatever. And then Braun Strowman turned up with Nicholas. Now, to reiterate one more time, all of it is very entertaining. All of it makes me laugh. I do enjoy it. However, put critical hats on, massive down. Braun and his 10-year-old partner did give up the titles here because Nicholas had a scheduling contract, namely, he had to go to school. So that was it. It just gave them back to Kurt Angle, who willingly accepted them. Talk about running your championships into the ground. Not only was it won by Braun Strowman and yes, a 10-year-old child, but we just gave them up. Just gave them up. Why would anyone want them now? Why would you want them? It's ridiculous, this. It was ridiculous. And again, within its little window, it's hilarious. A 10-year-old won the tag team titles. But it now just feels pointless. We also found out how the new champions are going to get crowned. We're going to hold a tournament, and whoever wins that tournament is going to take on Sheamus and Cesaro at Backlash. We then had a match. It was Galas and Anderson versus The Revival. The Revival won, and of course this was also pointless because Braun beat up all these teams a few weeks ago, so why would I care? Then No Way Jose debuted on Raw, and he beat a jobber. No Way Jose's really fun. It was just a squash match. I enjoyed it. Up. Seth Rollins was out next with his newly won IC Championship. Getting up too. Nothing too special really. He came out and said he was proud to now be a Grand Slam champion. Then Finn Balor also walked his way down the aisle and said he wanted to challenge Seth Rollins for the title. And The Miz turned up and said, well, I want that too. I have a rematch clause. Take me on at Backlash. The Miz was great here as well because during all of this, he said that because he lost, his new child cried, and because of that Maurice cried, and because of that The Miz cried. It was really, really well delivered and kind of funny, but in a sweet way. And finally, this IC program has momentum and it has heat and it has excitement to it. I don't know why. I don't get why all of a sudden that's changed, but everything I saw here made me go, I want to see it again. I guess it's because now it does feel like they got legit beef. Balor kind of suffered here. He stood around like a bit of a lemon, and then, just as it looked like the Miz Taraj was going to beat down Balor and Rollins, Jeff Hardy's music hit. He returned to Monday Night Raw, and later on, we're going to get a 6-man tag match. Then things got weird. It was meant to be a match between Mandy Rose and Sasha Banks, but just as it was starting, Bayley's music hit. She came down apparently to steal Sasha's spotlight. Getting her down. It was the first time in the evening the crowd started to lose focus and didn't care, therefore I started to lose focus and I started to not care because I'm a sheep, and it did all tie into the Banks-Bayley storyline, so that's good, and I guess they're going to have a match at Backlash. The finish did come when they were on the outside and Bayley went to clock Mandy Rose, but she missed and she hit Sasha Banks instead, got back in the ring. Big knee to face, 1, 2, 3, Sasha Banks loses. I just think it could have been delivered a little bit better, fell a little bit flat, and also, I still have absolutely no clue who the bad guy is. They're both bad guys. And then Paige retired in the ring. Turns out all those reports about her neck are true. This was really sad. Of course, it gets her down, and I guess all the best, Paige. It sucks. Not even 26, I think she's 25. That's horrible, and it's tough to deal with. Obviously, everyone keep your fingers crossed for Paige in her future. She did pretty good in only her 4 years on the main roster. But man, then Elias came out, and he absolutely cracked me up. What a corner this man has turned, and because he cracked me up, he's getting up. He started with a promo where he actually called himself the biggest music star on the planet, and it actually made me smile, it made me laugh again, because it was so ridiculous. And then he called the audience scumbags, and because they are this crazy audience, they started to chant, "We are scumbags," and I saw you, Elias. You almost laughed. He then sang an amazing song about punching people in the face, and then who returned to Monday Night Raw? It was Bobby Lashley. He got a great reaction, he did a badass suplex. I liked all of this. Great segment. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn then went backstage begging Kurt Angle for a job because they lost their match last night. They're unemployed. They can't go back to SmackDown. This was good as well. Getting up. Kurt Angle even got a TNA zing in there saying that he heard that they were hiring, and that's setting everybody ballistic. As it turns out, he has one spot available on Raw, so Kevin and Sami are going to have to fight for it. That's happening later. I like this. Then the Authors of Pain got called up. Perfect timing. Up. They took on and basically killed Heath Slater and Rhino. I only think it took them about 1 minute, and given that Raw needs tag teams, this is a damn good tag team to put on that show. And Paul Ellering was here as well, but after the match, they kind of made it seem like the Authors of Pain had got rid of him, and that sucked. I really enjoyed seeing him back. That's a down. Roman Reigns, fun now, and yes, WWE did reconfirm that Brock Lesnar has signed, and then, the big dog got exactly the kind of reaction you'd expect. But it's enough. Roman basically made out like he didn't trust Vince McMahon, that something fishy was going on, and he wasn't being told the truth. He wasn't 100% sure of what the future holds, but he did know he's going to keep his eye out. Either way, it is going to be Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar for the Universal title in a cage at that Saudi Arabia show. I know, this was weird, but in a good way. It had me intrigued. I think they're planting some seeds here, and as we all know, I like the planting of seeds. This transitioned into another up because then Samoa Joe made his return to Raw, and he cut such a good promo on Roman Reigns where you completely believed every word that he said, and it did indeed sound like he was going to kill, literally, Roman Reigns. And it sounds like they're having a match at Backlash. All this wonderful stuff happened within minutes. Yes. More tag team title stuff followed this, and we did indeed get Woken, Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt going against Titus Worldwide. And I'm going to tell you straight, all of a sudden I love Bray Wyatt. I'm a hypocrite, I'm a loser, I should be shot out of a cannon. It just works, it's so weird. Up. I mean, not only did they just magically appear in the ring before the match, but during the match, everyone just had a good time. How could you not have enjoyed this? Give them the belts. Just give them the belts. Please give them the belts. And then it was Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens, and this was just a really good idea. It's exactly the type of bout the fans wanted to see. They were really into it, and this is what I'd love WWE to be each and every week. It just felt great. Up. It was the usual high standard from the pair, and obviously KO kept running his mouth as only he can do, and that just added to it, and really, these two are some of the best in the world. The finish was a bit shonky, but I get it. For the first time in 100 years minimum, neither men could answer the count, so the ref did that 10 thing, and they both lost. So neither of them get a job on Raw. I mean, that doesn't happen in pro wrestling anymore. That's just a mechanic to get the fans more into the fight, but I understand what you're trying to do. You've got to keep telling this story, it gets a pass. And who even cares about that? Because at one point the crowd started chanting TNA. Because, they both lost, they got no job. May as well go there. We then got the most surreal backstage segment with Woken Matt Hardy, Bray Wyatt, and Jeff Hardy, aka Brother Nero. And all I'm going to say is this. Go and watch it. It's genuinely, well, it is nuts. It's also one of my favourite things of the last 76 years. You'd never be able to explain it to people who didn't watch wrestling, but that's why it's great. Up. The 6-man tag followed. This was basically a showcase for all the dudes that were involved. We did get the finish after Seth Rollins smashed The Miz with a curb stomp again, so the faces won. Yeah, it was a good time. A good time was had by all up. It went quite a while too, and even after the match, all the faces did hit their finishing moves on all the heels. Send the crowd home happy, put smiles on their faces, and remind you that WrestleMania is the best thing in the world. Oh, we're so happy, it's gone crazy. There was one swanton bomb onto Curtis Axel that looked like he exploded his ribs, but other than that, this all went to plan. I am going to throw one final down out there because I like my Raw after Manias to end with a bit more of a bang. This was just a bit of a whimper. But hey, it was a good time had by all. I had a good time. I'm sure you had a good time, maybe not. I don't know. Let's just say hashtag Good time. And the best thing about all of this is that SmackDown has loads to tell us as well. Is Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn going to try and get their jobs back there? What happens with Daniel Bryan? Is Shane McMahon now getting the care he needs? What's going on with Charlotte? Oscar wasn't on Raw. Has she moved over there? Only one way to find out. Watch it, or more importantly, come back tomorrow for ups and downs for SmackDown. Nothing over there. I looked over there for about 10 seconds. It's just a wall. Now, don't forget to leave a comment below and let us know what you thought about last night's Raw after Mania. Like, share, and subscribe. Follow WhatCulture on Twitter at WhatCulture WWE. Head over to WhatCulture.com. Read yourself some articles. My name is Simon from WhatCulture. I hope you're enjoying WrestleMania weekend and WrestleMania week. Again, come join me tomorrow. There's so much more to do.
Oh, wasn't that something? Don't forget to like, share and subscribe below, and also the people who made this lovely video, they're appearing right here. But if you're thinking to yourself, I want to see more content, Jules, then why not look above my head, as there probably is some. I don't know. I can't see it. Until next time.